Hey everyone. Dawn is working on her picture. um Hold on, I'm trying to pull all this up here. Okay. Hey True Crime Analyst. Hi Shalima. Hi Gladys. Thank y'all for joining us. My friend Dawn is here and she's trying to get her avatar picture fixed because she forgot about that part. She hasn't been live in a while. Some of y'all don't know her. Some of y'all that join in will know her. Dawn is an old friend of mine from the Gypsy Rose days, and we did a podcast together for a little while, and she jumps in and does true crime every once in a while with me. First off, can everybody hear me? I guess I should have asked that to begin with. I guess you can because Gladys said Dawn. She tends to be over in some of the drama communities, the TV drama communities. Yes, okay. You can't hear me. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me.
Let's not go there.
I wasn't going to name the communities. Just
don't worry about all that. We've got better things to do. That's for sure. Hi, everybody. I'm still working on that photo, but I had to jump in on that one. Yeah, no, we're just going to leave it at that.
This way.
Not worth the time and the effort. Let's put it that way.
We just think the trauma community is insane. Y'all have no idea. I go watch some of it like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm going back over my corner. That's my thing is I'm definitely jumping right back into my corner. No. Does it ever make you miss our Facebook days with?
Yes.
Right? It's like we thought that was bad. Can we go back?
Like the Facebook days were pretty comical. That's what it was. It was comical. This ain't no fun no more.
Especially when you look back at it, it's like, damn, that was funny.
Right. And now people want to bring in and other family members and things like that. And no.
I remember people telling us, y'all don't understand, YouTube's a different world. And it's a whole nother ball game, and they're vicious. And I think I believed them, but then I didn't believe them until it started happening. I'm like, holy shit. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, there we go. I got a photo.
I'm like, damn, there it is.
But I am. All right. There we go. Now you got a face with the name. All right. Now I got to find chat. Where did that go? Week. Oh, there it is. Okay.
You'll see on. Okay, did you find it?
Mm-hmm.
I have my phone and the computer going because it's easier for me to get on the phone and share things than try to do it from the computer because then I lose everything and I don't multitask that well.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you yes ma'am and me for? Smack you. I'm gonna drive up to your house, but then if I drive up there, we're going to the wineries. So
Oh yes. We have to hit that lucky vine. Okay.
Y'all, there's a new wine bar local to me that just opened like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And so some of my friends and me may be doing that Saturday for my birthday because I'm like, it's my birthday. I can do what the fuck I want to do. Think I'm gonna go there.
Damn Sagittarius is everywhere.
True Crime Analyst says the trauma community makes me feel sane. Girl, the trauma community is not the reality drama community is really bad.
Really bad.
I mean, it's almost scary bad.
It's very scary bad. It's way too personal.
Check this out. Bitch for Life. Does that voice sound familiar to you on panel? Blast from the past.
Huh?
Bitch for Life is Steph.
Oh, what are you doing stealing my girlfriend? You lucky I like you.
Isn't that funny?
You're lucky I like you. Make me feel true. Saying, look, all right. I had to learn the hard way. I really thought, entertaining a few of them, and trying to maybe help guide them to a better light in life would help. And yeah, no, it backfired. That drama community, no. I think we're better off dealing with the makeup community. Like, I'd go back to Jeffree Star drama.
No, there's drama in that shit too. No.
Yeah. I'll stick with the makeup drama.
One of my friends on here, Tia Simone, she has a channel. She kind of come from the makeup community and then over in Critical K and different things. And I listen to their drama and I'm just like, no, God, no, it's just as bad.
Why'd you have to say that name? I haven't talked about Critical K in forever and a day.
She has a, I'm still in one of her groups. I don't know how I'm still in one of her groups because I tend to go off on her every chance I get. And, because there's times when she's saying things, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so agreeing with her right now. And then she opens her mouth again. I'm like, never mind. There she went. And I think the last one was on, the female soldier that was killed at Fort Hood.
Yeah, Vanessa Guillen.
Why couldn't I remember the name? And she started out great with that. And then she went south blaming Vanessa. And I'm like, oh, no. That's not how we play. And I have not been there since. Gamer guy.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I had a slight echo in the background. Yeah, no, I haven't. Somebody else fooled around with a woman, and I just no.
Well, but her post the other day on the Casey Anthony stuff was like, I'm with her here. I agree with what she's saying. Not that I don't think Casey Anthony's a liar. Not that I don't think, and we're talking about doing a roundtable, Dawn.
Oh, really?
CCA mentioned that doing a fun roundtable with different people that have different views and opinions on the Casey Anthony and just having a good discussion.
Oh, I might actually have to jump in on that.
It really sounds fun because there's a lot of differing opinions going on, and so it would be interesting. Let's see. Hold on. Somebody just sent me something.
Yeah, that one. I think I still have to watch like the last 30 minutes of the third episode. So I need to evidently finish watching that for I can at least be in chat, to discuss and stuff like that. Because my opinion is there's definitely two adults involved in this situation, and Lord only knows which one's going to tell the truth first. I really hope it's grandfather. But,
I don't even see somebody say her name, but I don't see her in the chat. Oh, there she is. Let me chat real quick. So yeah, but we're not going to go deep into Casey Anthony today, guys.
No.
What we yeah, I've been watching the Idaho 4 stuff, and
that one's got me kind of confused and lost too. But I've only gotten bits and pieces.
Well, one of the investigators that's been doing several of the podcasts about them, Cloyd Steiger, I'm talking to him about coming on because he's also done some stuff with our Harper Road case.
Okay.
And I asked him if he'd come on and share that with us, and
okay,
because I want to touch, because yesterday was the anniversary for that one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He said yesterday, he's like, people are just assuming that because they have the FBI on this, that the FBI knows what they're doing. And that's not the truth. If that FBI unit has never dealt with serious murder cases, they're clueless.
Right.
And which
they're learning.
They're sending out way too much information. I just think that case is, driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Gladys says she lost me at the Depp and Heard trial. There were a few things I saw with that one too, Gladys, that I couldn't watch with her. She makes me angry because she's a huge victim blamer. She victim basher sometimes, it periodically. And
are we talking about Critical K?
Gladys actually came from the Critical K community a long time ago. So yeah, she don't like her either.
No. The one who I loved watching with the Amber Heard, the Heard and Depp thing was Emily D. Baker. That's who oh my God, I love watching her.
I bet I didn't see any of that. And I'm pulling up my channel. Just a minute, guys.
Yeah, Emily D. Baker, like, she is a lawyer that likes the F word, and I just fell in love with her.
Hey, I'm good with that. I like it when they drop the F-bomb because then I feel at home.
She is full of cursy words, and I love it. And I'm like, yes, that's what I need as a real person. Sorry, I have 3-legged, 4-legged fairy freaks that want to be loud and obnoxious in the background. Fair warning now. Sorry. I try to keep them quiet, guys.
So I don't remember if any of y'all in here saw my. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not missing anything in chat. Oh, hey, Broken Justice! I didn't even see you come in. Damn, y'all sneaking in on me today. Thank you for coming, guys. So on Saturday, I shared a Amber Alert that happened for our area. I'm about to cover it daily and all this along because I actually wanted to be legit, you know. I agree. That's a good idea, bitch for life.
Okay.
So on Saturday, Dawn and I are both in Texas, and we're a few hours from each other. And early fucking Saturday morning, now mind y'all, I didn't go to bed till 2:30. I was getting ready for my event I had on Saturday. Went off at like, what was it, 6 o'clock in the morning?
It was 4. It was like 4 something.
So
and I have to hit mute real quick.
Yeah, I think right I basically threw my phone. I was not happy because I had just gone to sleep. And so when I get up and I get in here and I'm taking all the animals out, because, you know, my ritual is in the morning, I feed the baby quail, I take the dogs out, I feed the big quail, and I have some coffee. And I am outside trying to get my eyeballs to function. I'm not even seeing straight yet. I'm drinking my coffee and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm reading what's going on. And so I share it. I immediately go on my community tab and I shared the Amber Alert and what was going on. It was kind of scary sounding. And then a little bit later, Dawn messaged me and she's like, there's something up with this shit. Yep. And so she sends me, it's a 22-minute clip of the mother. And I have it up to play, but I don't know if I want to play the whole thing. And so,
yeah, that clip, when I sent that clip, and my wife had brought it even more to my attention because I got the Amber Alert and I did like Brandy did, toss the damn phone across the room, thinking that, you know, maybe it was an old Amber Alert or there could have been a new one, but unfortunately,
sometimes we get them that are like way off.
And this one was an extremely way off once we clued in on what it said. When it said that parents took off with their 6 children, and that's why they're putting an Amber Alert.
The imminent danger is what caught my attention because I'm like, oh my God, what are these parents doing for their children to be in so much danger? And so as the day went on and I'm at my event and Dawn's sending me stuff, and I'm like, give me a little bit, because I had people everywhere. And so as I got home and I'm reading up on it and I'm watching stuff, guys, I'm suspicious of CPS in this. And I don't like to look ugly and negatively at law enforcement and CPS because they have a very, very, very hard job to do.
Right.
I'm going to get ready, be driving, so I won't be able to be in the chat for at least 2.5 seconds when I get the kids to school. Okay. Be safe. She goes 90 to nothing, and, you know, she works 3rd shift, so she got this. She's what we call the professional wrench holder.
No, that works.
So what happened? And I'm gonna pull it. I have the TikToks pulled up because I'm gonna pull this mom's TikToks up.
Yes, and, those are a great idea.
Let's do first.
Now the first few of the TikToks, if you paid attention, or not paid attention, let me word that properly. If you noticed that, like, the first ones are like 30 seconds. Like, she didn't realize that she could do longer than a 30-second clip.
Minutes on TikTok, yeah.
So yeah, because then all of a sudden it went to 3 minutes.
I'm going to play part of the live she did on Facebook. It's really long, so I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to do a little bit of it. I'm probably going to have to mute so it doesn't echo.
I'll mute too if need be.
Let's see. And no worries, because I have this on my YouTube channel name, Facebook, not my personal Facebook, because you know. All right, so here we go. Let's.
Izzy from Bexar County CPS, Child Protective Services, was looking for me. She comes, knocks on my door. I open it. She says, "Hi, my name's Izzy. I'm with CPS, and I need to speak to your children." I was like, "Okay, well, Izzy, why are you wishing to speak to my children?" She says that there was an allegation made by one of my children, and that she needs to speak to them. I said, "Okay, well, do you have an affidavit or do you have a court order?" She said, "No." I was like, "Don't come back until you have it." She keeps knocking on my door and has my husband on the phone because he's away at work. She came back with him. First thing out of her words were, "Mommy, he wanted to check my privates." Okay. And that's where their forensic interview was going to take place, in Bexar County. All right, that's off the I-10. And so we show up. CPS is late, of course, once again. And they start taking 4 of my 6 children, one by one, the ones that could talk, for their forensic interview. When each child came back, they all informed me that the male forensic interviewer asked to check their person, chest, back, and other body parts for marks. My 4-year-old, the first thing when she came back with him, first thing out of her words were, "Mommy, he wanted to check my privates." Okay.
So real quick. This video is while she is on the road. This is after the Amber Alert has happened, and she's explaining what's going on. So it's really long, and she rattles on. So I don't know how much of this to play. I can say some of her mannerisms are hard to believe. But let's get into, let me play a little bit more of it. Hold on.
Now, needless to say, guys, this is definitely one of the first things that we did see about this case, and was like, this video definitely made us both go, "Well, huh? What the hell?" To go and look into further. And it bothers me on the factor of how, that a caseworker is going to look at any child without a nurse or something of that sort right along with them.
Right. He should have never been by himself when he checked the children. I don't think that's even protocol.
No, it's not. Nowhere near it.
I know. And they don't have, here's the thing, they don't even have a court order. They have bullied their way in. They do not have a court order. What they have is an affidavit signed by the CPS attorney on all of this. And they haven't even gone through her attorney, which they've already been given the attorney's name. And we're going to go through that timeline here in a minute with and break that down because it's kind of confusing. So let's play a little bit more of this.
Okay.
A male with a child where the accusation of sexual assault, a male to check private parts. That was all corroborated for my children. So waiting around, I finally get pulled back by Vasquez, and she had some other individual with her into another room where she informs me of the discovery during this forensic interview with 4 of my children. Supposedly it was sexual assault on Raylan, but he closed down and wouldn't give any specifics to it whatsoever. Physical abuse on Savannah because she had a pinky nail mark size right about here on her cheekbone, high cheekbone, close to her eye. That supposedly was done by me the day before on October 4th. This bruise was completely yellowed and almost gone. That's not a sign of it just happening. And it happened by a broken piece of wood from furniture. Okay. The third one was medical neglect by neglecting my son's, Raylan's 9-year-old, mental health. All right. That was laughable. And I actually did laugh. She asked, what do I have to say for myself? I said, well, the sexual assault, I was like, that is concerning, considering it's on a completely different child from the case 2 years ago, where my husband and I were the ones to report this individual for those crimes, where charges are currently pending in Texas for. My children had been in therapy since the month after for over a year.
So take them to take them to a hospital and have a doctor check them out. They are not allowed to look their bodies over whatsoever without a professional with them. Exactly, Broken Justice. And
Yes.
that's where I'm just like, this is not making sense. So
this is questionable. Very, very questionable.
What we do know is where this started is in 2020, the husband's son, I'm assuming it's the husband's son because they say stepson,
right?
Committed SA on the 10-year-old, the 11. I think it's the 10-year-old. I think she's 11 now. Because she's talking about the 9-year-old boy here, and she says it's her other one. So I'm assuming it's the 11-year-old. They really aren't, and we don't need the names, and they won't give the others because he is a minor. It was a minor child that committed SA on another minor child. And it happened in 2020. The husband went to law enforcement. Jacqueline went to CPS and reported it. And I think going to CPS was a bad idea. And I'll explain why here in a minute. But they did report it. It is going to court. There are things being done. The child is no longer in the home. He is actually in California, I'm assuming, with his mother. They have arranged meetings for the dad to see the child, but not with the other kids in the home. So there's no contact whatsoever, which is what the courts have ordered. Because there's another court case with that, CPS shouldn't be involved on this at all because it's totally separate. Somehow or another, excuse me, got the belches.
Can I throw my opinion in real quick? Yeah, and this is an opinion and assumption, and what I'm reading into after looking at all the videos and putting 2 and 2 together, so on and so forth. It looks like maybe somebody, either in the school system or medical system, somewhere along the line, somebody new is recent and has been in contact with the child that has had the abuse. And the child may have portrayed it as recent. And this new person took it upon themselves to say, oh, this is what's going on right now, and call CPS, and here we are.
Yeah, I think that could very well be, because she does say several times that what they're hearing from her is the old allegation she's just too young and not understanding time, and that's very normal for a child. Sometimes they don't understand the frame of time, and right. They share these stories, and you may think it's current. Do I think that CPS had the right to come and question? Absolutely. I think that's doing their job.
Right.
I do agree with that part. However,
that's double checking.
Because she's been through this and she's had an attorney, she's smart enough to say, you cannot come do this without proper paperwork. Where's your paperwork? Right. And she's holding it. And I think because she's doing that, it's pissed them off. This investigator, I guess that's what you call a CPS investigator. Her name is Vasquez. I think that she's on a power trip. This is surely my opinion. And I think that she took that as a go ahead and fuck with me and I'm going to push it. And so they come to the door. She won't let them in. They come back and they have these paperwork signed. She thinks it's signed. She finds out later on that it's not from a judge. It's from the attorney. And
the CPS attorney, not even her attorney. No, a CPS attorney, not a judge. What the hell?
Right. And so darn it, dog.
Sorry.
Gizmo got right behind me and I sat on him.
Oh, Jesus.
On September 24th was the first visit from CPS. There's no paperwork. They turn up on the door. She turns them away. You don't have any paperwork, go away.
Right.
So they hear nothing back from them until October 5th. On October 5th, CPS, which was Vasquez, called the husband and said that if you do not get a meeting with me with these children today by noon, we will start the proceedings to have the children removed. So Jacqueline calls them back and she's like, look, I am at the doctor with I believe it was the 9-year-old. And she's like, I think they had PT, had speech therapy, some other thing, several different doctor's visits. And she's like, there's no way I can be there by 12. Can we do like 12:30? They agree on that. She shows up. They show up. Trying to see what I have written here. That was when they showed up with paperwork signed by the attorney and not a judge.
Yes.
And they want her to take the kids to the child safe for forensic interview. They go to this child safe, which I'm assuming is over in San Antonio. I'm assuming that's their service.
Yeah, jurisdiction. Yeah, San Antonio area.
Now, these people have a lot of kids. They have 6 kids. So when she's talking about this bruise on the little one's face, I can understand that with 6 kids. They're going to roughhouse and...
Oh, God, yeah. Holy terror.
Broken Justice is also supposed to have a police officer with them when they go to the house, and also when they go to the hospital, and the police officer to stay with until the exam is done. See, that's what I was thinking, Broken Justice, is that there's a whole line of custody here that needs to happen to preserve evidence and protect the case. And I don't feel like there's no officers involved. There's no proper paperwork involved. They do not have medical staff doing this.
Brandy, even the therapist was supposed to show up for 2 different court hearings and never showed up. But then all of a sudden, because this therapist writes a letter to the judge, they're taking the kids. What?
Right. Well, they do. The therapist says it's not even it's not even actual precipitation. I can't even think of the word. Interpretation of the evidence, because it's hearsay by his interpretation of what he's read in the files. It's not even actual interviews of the children. No. And then he doesn't even show up. Doesn't even show up to be cross-examined. He just writes a letter and they take it. So
they put out an Amber Alert.
He takes the 4 older children to the back, which is a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And they take them to the back, and that was when they do what she's talking about, the examination, forensic examination.
And they do about 6+ hours with these 4 children.
That's terrifying.
6+ hours. And they're not allowed to see mom. They're not allowed to have anything to do with mom. They're totally separated from mom. Yeah. And... where was I at? My notes.
And the things that they're citing them for, I shouldn't be drinking a Coke. I've got the belches now. They're citing them for essay on a child, which we know happened in 2020.
Right.
And the individual is no longer in contact with the child. They've done everything according to what the laws have said. Boom. Child abuse. They're using the little mark next to the eye as part of child abuse. Now, the child that happened, the child, for one thing, is in gymnastics. 2, it's a child. I'm going to tell you what, if we would have been taken to CPS and had our kids looked at for every bruise they ever had, I'd have lost my kids 100 times. Jesus Christ, I sure enough would not be living with my parents. I wouldn't have been raised by my parents for the shit that I even done when I was 4 years old, falling out of a grocery cart because I didn't listen to mom. Even in this video, the kids are all over the car and they're binging and binging and binging. it's pure chaos. So
Yeah.
you just can't. That alone, I think, is ridiculous. Now, she does say that they believe in corporal punishment. I am one of those that agree with corporal punishment. The state of Texas agrees with it as long as it's on the butt, can't leave marks. And there's
Can we also make it very well known that these are also 2 veterans that have fight and put their lives on the line.
He was disabled for a long time.
Long time.
She helped nurse him back to health and helped force him to, hey, TCA, welcome back, to get better, to get stronger, to not give up, and to keep fighting.
Right.
But the other charge they have on them is medical neglect of the 9-year-old. She was just doctor's appointments.
Right.
And she talks about his medical file is thick because he's had a lot of issues over the years, and because of the age, he cannot technically be labeled certain mental illnesses and things like that because he's still young. But they have diagnosed him somewhat with multiple illnesses, but they can't label it yet, so to speak.
Right.
And I have a friend that had this happen with hers, and she actually, because they gave him medication at too young of an age, it triggered and made him even worse, and he tried to kill her other child.
Right.
And it was constant like that. And the courts came back and said, you have 2 choices. You can keep your son and lose your daughter, or you can sign your son over to us and let us put him in a medical facility and keep your daughter. Those are your 2 choices. So she had to give her son up to the state to keep her daughter. And she stayed in contact with them, and she worked with the professionals, and Matt turned out to be an amazing human being. But when she did get him back, he was, God, what was he, 13? He was a big kid. Y'all, he was like over 6 foot. He weighed like 200 pounds. He was huge. And when he would start having fits of anger, we would have to immediately, because we had him in our children's church, we would have to send out for his dad, because his dad was like 6'6", big old dude, to help restrain him and calm him down. I learned, because I spent so much time with him, I learned tricks of the trade of how to talk to him and get him to look at me and calm himself back down. And
I learned how to manage.
Adult a lot of times, and would say, hey, Matt, now Miss Brandy needs you to step it up here, baby. And I could calm him down. It took me about a year to learn that with him, but he was very, very psychotic. Like, it was scary. And so that's what they're trying to avoid. Way I'm understanding of this little boy, we don't want to put him on medications too soon, but he's acting out. He's cutting. He's trying to hurt himself. He's trying to hurt others. He's having anger outbursts. There's a lot going on. So she's getting him all the medical that she possibly can, and a lot of it's happening on the military base.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different aspect than regular medical.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I can speak and vouch for that now.
Maisie's Life Coaching for Dummies. Okay, I need to know which one is Maisie's Life. We have some that are now life coaches. It's a inside joke, but I don't know which one y'all are.
Well, I'm digging that one, and yeah.
I used to work for CPS. I have nothing good to say about them. Very few success stories. Lots of destroyed families. Regardless of what they say, family isn't important.
It's very clear, and I'm sadly realizing it. Like, I thought it was bad in Florida. I dealt with them in Florida with friends of mine. I took temporary custody of a child and almost lost my kids because I took temporary custody of that child. By the grace of God, I kept my children and I moved here. But then later on, ended up dealing with CPS here. And it was because of a school nurse making things out to be what it wasn't.
If you've ever listened to Dr. Phil, he will tell you.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
The last you want involved in your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Because once they're involved, it's over.
Yeah, and somehow, by the graces of gods, I got, I ended up keeping my kids and getting through and doing what I was supposed to do and didn't end up like this family. But also, I guess, because I had 3 kids, it wasn't 6 kids and they wouldn't get as much money. Or they were overloaded and they're like, okay, we got too much money. We don't need any more. I don't know. Somehow I got lucky though. But I dealt with them enough to know that, this what's going on is weird, because this is not how my kids were treated. You know what I mean? Like I was still, when my children were interviewed and stuff, I was still involved. I was still part of the interview. I was still nearby. My children still were able to interact with me. I wasn't separated from my children like this mother was.
Right. Well, and Broken Justice says they need the whole system revamped. It is out of control. The people in charge of the caseworkers that go into your home don't want the hassle. Right. And that is kind of where this has fallen, Broken Justice. The person over Texas CPS was just let go by Governor Abbott. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know who's in charge.
Yeah, right now. It does not sound. It sounds like in the middle of the transition, everybody's like doing a free for all, and this is where it frustrates me, because you have kids like I hate it when I forget names. The little boy in California, is it Gonzalez?
Yeah,
what's that little boy's name? Oh, shoot. Yeah. They did the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
I cannot remember his name.
I'm horrible. I'm so sorry, guys.
Names are just getting where they just escape me. But they failed that little kid.
There's so many kids.
They failed him.
Right.
All these times where they have these serious cases and they fail them, and then you have a case like this and they're overdoing it. Could this mother be overwhelmed and a little too much on her plate? Absolutely. She's got 6 kids. Her husband has moved. They're in San Antonio, which is Central Texas, if you're not aware. He is in West Texas, like 400 miles away, and he is working to make money for their home. I mean, they both get a veteran's pay. He's disabled, but he's still, it's not a lot of money, guys. I hate to tell everybody that he does not get paid a lot of money.
No, they don't. I just married a vet. I know.
When you have 6 kids, guys, that takes a lot. I just went to the grocery store for me and David and spent $200, and it was like 2 weeks worth. And I'm like, what the hell? It's
Honey,
just 2 of them.
I just married a vet, and just by the graces of God, finally got a bonus because they finally paid attention to something that has been trying. She's been trying for 10 years to get them to notice. Needless to say, I still spend $300-400 on groceries for 3 of us, for at least try to spread it out for 3 weeks.
Right.
So, there's still, a house payment and internet, because we homeschool. So we have no choice but to have internet, and things like that. And so God bless 6 kids. Oh my Lord.
Well,
and to have gymnastics and baseball and things like that kids want to do, I know, because my older 2 did it. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, that costs money. It's not free. And Dad having to work. Ay. Okay, there we go. There's the Fernandez. That's what it was.
Gabriel Fernandez. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I could not remember that baby's name.
I think I'm horrible with it because I followed the case, but didn't deeply follow the case. There's some cases, I have to admit, I have to be honest with me and everybody on the simple factor of there's just some things where I'll catch the headline and the first part of the story and be like, I can't stomach that. That would push me even to the point of no control. And no, we don't want that. So I have to separate myself from certain cases and stuff. But this one, with the factor of there's, by the graces of God, no bloodshed or murder or anything else and stuff. And the kids are actually still all intact and so far together that we know of. I can handle this kind of thing and get behind it and support it. The people in Texas need to know that, hey, this is some shady shit going on.
Broken Justice says, I do have to admit, we did have a wonderful CPS worker that looked into my son's case, and he got custody of his son back, and they found him innocent, but he did 15 years time in prison. Oh, wow. Wow. He didn't do anything to hurt his child or anything like that. He lied for the mother, and they made an example out of him. But they found where a caseworker hid the truth from the court. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, and that's where a lot of the problem is these basic caseworkers, and it seems like what they're doing is they're trying to do something to where they can get upper in the world, or something. That's the only logical explanation I can think of is why you would do something just this stupid. This mean and hateful.
Giving CPS more and more power and funding. They have almost zero accountability. Agenda-driven workers create, design to fail service plans. I had better pay attention to driving. Don't, Rick.
Yes, please. Pay attention to driving.
Has been back, and it's just been real hard. Oh, broken. My heart breaks for you and your family. I'm so sorry.
Top of it, yes. Oh, Lord have mercy. Praying for y'all.
So with this, get back on our timeline here. We kind of went off. They never, in all of this coming up to what led to this weekend, they never gave them a family safety plan. Never. Which I thought was like the first thing they did.
Right. No safety plan. This is what you got to. Well, like the first round was they had a safety plan, and then that's when she had to do what? She only had to do
no
a mental evaluation.
No, Dawn. The first one they never gave them anything. They ripped the kids from her arms in that meeting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She had the baby in her arms, and they ripped him from her arms. They didn't give her a chance to explain to the children what was going on. Completely traumatized the kids.
Okay.
That was on what date was that?
That was the same day they did the interviews.
Probably October 5th. That was on October 5th.
October 5th. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And
yes.
So on October 5th, they take the kids from her. November 1st, they have a 226 hearing, which let me pull up the 226 hearing. I have that because I figured somebody's going to say, what is a 226 hearing? Because I was like, wait, what exactly is the 226 hearing?
226 hearing. Thank you. Yes, I meant to.
An ex parte order that is granted a preliminary protective hearing that shall be scheduled by a judge within 15 days of the entry of the ex parte order. For an ex parte order or custody of guardianship is not entered, but the court finds that priority scheduling is warranted, a preliminary protective hearing shall be scheduled within 15 days of the filing. Basically, that's the court stepping in to file on this whole thing. So when they have that hearing on the 1st, I did it again. They have the hearing on the 1st, and court orders them to return the children. Mom brought all of her evidence. She proved everything that she was claiming, proves where they are wrong. I mean, judge's like, you're right. You got to bring the kids back. They didn't return the kids till 10 o'clock that night.
Yeah, 10 p.m. I'm like, that's some bullshit.
And then the case is now moved to family base. So it's no longer like a criminal looking at taking the kids away. It's a family base. We're going to watch, make sure you're doing your therapy. I think that at that point they were all ordered therapy and physical things and different things like that. So she did every bit of that. Every bit of that.
Except like she had to do, that's where she had to do the internet evaluation or the mental evaluation over the internet.
The only thing she had left on the 29th was her psych evaluation to do on the internet, and she was told, we'll schedule that later. We're not too worried about that right now. You've done everything. Everything looks great. Because they came on the 28th and the 29th. Well, on the 28th, well, Vasquez and her supervisor, Esmeralda, is the only name I'm given, show up. The 9-year-old has a fit. He has a breakdown. He is losing it. It takes her a bit to get him calmed down. once she finally calms him down, the 7-year-old loses it and goes to the knife block, threatening to take her own life so that everything will stop.
The poor little
What
baby.
7-year-old thinks that way?
That poor little baby. Like, I just, that poor little baby.
Oh, Broken Justice, that's horrible. Destroyed their family, cost him almost $1 million up front, and we are just now getting to put the pieces back together. Well, you know what, Broken Justice, I hope and pray that things turn out beautifully and healing can happen in the grandson's heart and mind and your son's.
Right.
Because I just can't even imagine. And I think about the kids and all this. Us adults, we can overcome. And our brains is already there. But these children, even as a teenager, they're still forming their connections and their mental abilities and their brain activity. And that's why drinking age is at 21 and smoking has been moved to 18, because those things affect the growth in the brain.
No, the smoking's been 21 now. It's moved to 21. Yeah. Smoking and drinking is now 21.
When has smoking been moved to 21?
A few years ago.
No, it's 18.
No, it's 21.
It's 18 here.
They crazy. They breaking the law. I could have sworn it was 21 all the way around now.
You're smoking too much wacky weed, honey.
No. That's the CBD stuff. It doesn't do anything but make you healthier, or at least.
But when they go to court for this on the 29th or 30th, I think it might have been the 30th. Now, mind you, a lot of this happened during Thanksgiving, so things are closed and hard to get in and out with things. And so they go to the hearing. That's where we're talking about that therapist that says that his stuff is hearsay because he wasn't witness to reading notes, doesn't show up to court. And the court decides that CPS is right. And what I'm assuming is they went off with the 2 children losing their minds while she was there.
Well,
and I'm sorry, you have ripped these children out of their home, put them in a group home. They refused to let them go to family and put them in a group home setting. And they're traumatized.
Totally traumatized.
It baffles me that the court just said, oh, well, they're right. Go and take the kids back. No, the parents have done everything you've told them to do. The whole point of reunification or a whole point of all this is reunification, or should be. Right. And it should be that the parents follow the steps given. You give them a plan. They follow those steps. Do the medical, do the therapy, do this, do that, whatever it is. They've been basing this on the fact of the sexual assault that happened 2 years ago.
Right. Now, somewhere along the line, somehow somebody tried to claim that mom's an alcoholic.
Right. They claim
mom hasn't drank for 11 years.
Yeah.
11 fucking years.
She did the drug and alcohol testing. That proved none of that in her system whatsoever. It baffles me that this is just being thrown out there.
The allegations and the weird stuff that's been coming out of these caseworkers and stuff, it's like, are you really that desperate?
Well,
to get somebody else's kids
for 6 kids, they're going to get paid quite a bit of money for 6 kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, and look, we all know those group homes are not, because 9 times out of 10, normally the group homes are where the real trouble children are.
Right.
I hate to say it.
I'm gonna pull up her TikTok, and
see, Oklahoma is 21, tobacco's 21. See, I told you, Colorado's 21. We're not
Oklahoma. We're Texas.
We're Texas, and it's 21.
No, it's 18.
Somebody Google Texas for me.
Hey Siri, watch. I'm gonna do Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What age can you buy tobacco in Texas? Legal smoking age rises from 18 to 21 under Senate Bill. Let's see. 18 to 21.
It's 21.
Well, then this right here says it's 18, and then this over here says it's 21. It's literally given two different ages. E-cigarettes are 21.
Okay, so right now, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, e-cigarettes are 21.
Well, then what the hell? What the hell? Okay, anyways, back to our main subject. Sorry, guys.
Why?
Okay, so this is evidently mom's TikTok.
Yeah, I want to.
There is a Facebook page. Oh, damn it. There is a Facebook page, Reunite the Davidsons, stated there has been some news broadcasts about this case because, you know, it was such an odd Amber Alert. And after we had already went through the Athena thing, you know, people were on extra nerves. Extra nerves were on, that's for sure.
Yes, bitch for life. CPS now has the children. What happened is when that happened, she took off to Austin. She was going to Austin to find Governor Abbott and make him answer her questions about who was in charge.
She was knocking on Abbott's door, honey. That's hell out. That's where she was with the kids.
She got with her attorney. Hey, Melissa. She got with her attorney, and he's like, look, you're going to have to come back. You've got to turn yourself in. This is not going to go well. So she comes back to San Antonio. The husband is in West Texas. He's trying to figure out how to get home. He sells his truck, so he has money. He has no way to get home. The man walked 100 miles by foot until he got a ride.
Out of the 300, he had to get there.
Yeah. And so when you read all the information, they're like husbands fled and hiding from justice and blah, blah, blah. That's not what happened. And
not even close.
The whole time, right? The whole time their attorney's like, no, that's not what they're doing. They're turning themselves in. They got out Sunday.
No questions asked, no problems, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're doing everything the legal way, the proper way. I don't understand. Go ahead.
At the moment, that's not what you see. What's not what you see?
What are we seeing? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about. She may be on a totally different subject knowing her. So, okay, I'm going to play a couple of these TikToks for you real quick. Let me mute because it'll echo.
There was a few new ones, if you noticed, honey, up at the top.
So this is going to be a multi TikTok. My name is Jacqueline Davidson, and my family and I are victims of CPS corruption here in Bexar County, Texas. Stay tuned. Share this as much as you. So this is going to be a multi TikTok.
Yeah, I was about to say, next. This is where she's having the 30-second problem.
It's like, but wait, can y'all hear that? Because it just dawned on me I didn't hit share sound.
No, we heard it, honey. I heard it.
Well, we can hear it. I don't know if they can hear it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because this is where she's doing. This is where she's having the 30-second problem. The poor woman. The poor woman, because like you could tell she's new at this TikTok thing too. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know. I'm still green. I don't know about TikTok much.
The court just said, "Oh, well, right." I know.
I'm still green. I don't know.
Yeah,
about
it's
TikTok.
not. It's
okay. Now we're having an echo.
That was me. Okay.
Okay, just making sure.
I I turned CPS away, telling her if she didn't have an affidavit or a court order signed by a judge, she was not going to gain entry to my home to speak to my children. Then I had not heard from her from September 24th to October 5th.
Okay, so real quick, right there, that little tidbit of the factor of she was contacted on the 24th, but still didn't hear anything. And then the husband was contacted on the 5th saying, hey, bring the kids in. Holy shit. I just put that two and two together. I'm sorry. Okay.
October 5th, my husband gets a call from Vasquez from Bexar County CPS informing him that if she has not seen my kids by noon that day, she's going to take legal proceedings to forcibly remove my children. The morning of...
Okay, pause that. Do you guys see that little dude back there behind her? Oh my God, he's so cute. I'm sorry, I had to say that. He was making faces kind of behind her.
All of these babies are precious. They're so stinking adorable.
They are, and I just couldn't help it. Okay.
So Vasquez and her supervisor, Esmeralda, come to my home with supposedly a court order that's only signed by the CPS attorney, not by a judge, forcing me to take my kids to Child Safe to get in. So Vasquez and her supervisor, Esmeralda.
Brandy, it's up to you.
So we
you
arrive
can
at
hit
Child
the
Safe
arrows
for their
and go right up to
forensic
the next
interview.
video.
They take my four older children, that was 10, 9, 7, and 4, interviewed each of them. This took multiple hours, 6+. And when we'll get... So we arrive at Child Safe. After the forensic interview, Vasquez pulled me aside, informing me of the discovery of this investigation, which was sexual assault on no one inside my home, child abuse, and medical neglect on my... After the interview, Vasquez and whoever was there with her did not ask any questions pertaining to how my son's mental health was being addressed, how the bruise supposedly on the face that was there that happened the day before was almost... And the person that was accused of the sexual assault on at least one of my children hadn't been in the home for over a year, and it had already been addressed to the courts here in Texas 2 years ago, where he is still pending charges to this day. At no time was I offered a safety plan. Vasquez said I need to go talk to my supervisor to discuss with her possible stipulations in a safety plan that I may have to abide by to leave that day with my children. Almost 10 minutes later, Vasquez comes in, takes me with my 1-year-old in my arms into a room with their supervisor, with 3 law enforcement officers from Bexar County, informing me at that time they were going to take all 6 of my children and put them into foster care without asking to put them with family first. My children were not allowed to say goodbye to me, where I could calm them down and inform them of the situation of what was going on. I ended up going home that night, getting an attorney, Derek Ritchie, from Derek Ritchie Law Firm in San Antonio, and now November 1st rolls around for the 226 hearing. The judge closed the case that day, ordering CPS to return my kids the same night. 10 o'clock that night, finally CPS decides to return my kids. So, November 1st, the 226 hearing, that gets closed to family base. That's a whole different section of CPS. Now it's a caseworker, not an investigator. No problems working with her, which, by the way, according to today, I am almost fully complete. I got one more thing to do, and that's a psych evaluation. That's going to be done online. And once that's done, case closed come next month. Now, November 29th rolls around. That's the motion to reconsider the judge.
So, hey, Lycan. Yes, Lycan, it is a true crime, in my opinion.
Oh, sorry.
It's Scooby-Doo. So
I will be right back.
She's got Scooby-Doo playing. can't with you. So now it's just a matter of what plays out in the courts. And CPS is overstepped here. Can't take you serious, Lycan.
Okay. I am so sorry. Yes,
Lycan says, wow. Lycan said, wow, that Scooby-Doo jingle, such a mockery to this case. This isn't a joke.
This isn't a joke. That was not planned. That was unfortunately an appointment reminder.
You had to know.
Yeah, that was unfortunately an appointment reminder for myself, and I did not, like a fool, did not hit mute on my phone like I should have. Sorry for the inconvenience. I did not mean that.
Lycan doesn't know you. She's taking you very serious.
Oh.
He's being a dick.
It's for the next 6 months. Look, okay. Well, as long as it's for the next 6 months, we can totally get along. Okay, just saying. Anyways, yeah, no, like, damn it. Okay, so, all right.
So that's kind of where she ended up on some of it, and she just continues. I think she's still doing 30-second videos. I think it finally later on she figures out she can do 3-minute videos. But she explains it and she breaks it down. But people are fussing at her on TikTok. They're like, quit putting all this out there. You're building their case.
Well,
and I can't. I don't
to
know.
a certain extent. To a certain extent, I can understand it. But all in all, really after the factor of, they wanted to put out an Amber Alert and say, that she kidnapped her own children. I think I would have done the same damn thing going, excuse me.
I think that for me, CPS could have put them all in danger by saying those children were in imminent danger, because people are thinking this woman is a danger to her children when there's no case of that.
Right.
There's absolutely no case of that. And I mean, you see all the time CPS overstepping their boundaries. And this one here is involving 6 children, 2 that we now have the mom saying are in serious mental distress. Hi, Sleuth Mom.
Hello.
The 9-year-old has a history of mental illness that they're still trying to navigate because he's too young to medicate. You've got a 7-year-old threatening to harm herself, threatening to unalive herself because of CPS.
She doesn't want to live like this without her mommy.
Right. And it's her fault that they're doing this. That is dangerous. That is dangerous. And I, in my opinion, feel like CPS and this Vasquez lady is a problem.
They have stepped it over CPS's necessary boundaries. Like they've definitely stepped over the law.
In the news conference on Monday, I was reading a lot of the chat going on, and there are several organizations stepping in to help. One, this is a veteran family. He is a decorated veteran. He was injured in battle.
Yes.
And there's another organization that just deals with this kind of situation, that they're stepping in and offering financial help and backing to take on CPS for this family. So, and you've got a lot of people that are like, something's fishy here. There's one video of her and there are no tears, but then again, she could have already cried that out.
Right.
And I don't want to judge her on that. Reading the comments, I started following and agreeing with them. And I'm like, wait. I don't know this woman's situation. I don't know what she's been doing up to this, other than she's been in jail and she's fighting to keep her children. And so all I know is the facts she's presented. And if it is what they're saying, if the charges are those 3 charges, the SA on the child that happened 2 years ago, the child abuse, and the medical neglect. I don't see the medical neglect if he's been having doctor's appointments. That's
right.
not medical.
There's documentation of it. There's so clear documentation
the child happened 2 years ago. It's already in the courts. That other child is no longer in the home. So they're doing therapy
not even
for
in
that.
the state. Not even
right.
in
He's in
the
California.
state. Yeah.
And so they're seeking help for that. And then, the child abuse part, well, I don't know, because is it the mark on the eye? Was there something else? I don't know.
Yeah, because I heard there was something about bruising. The one child had bruising.
There was somebody said that is in the same gymnastics class that said that they saw bruises on the girl.
Right, but come on, it's gymnastics. I came home from bruises with PE from elementary school.
When my middle child, she was, let's see, Katie was, I think she was 7th grade, 8th grade, right around there. We had horses, and one of our horses, his name was Mushu, was a little shithead. And if he wanted your attention, he would nibble at your arm. And he would, usually it was just his little lips, because most of the time, most of us were fast enough to move and pop him until he would cut it out, or point your finger at him and then he'd be all prancing around and be stupid. And he grabbed her arm and grabbed a hold of it and bit down and pulled her. And of course, he let go and he prances off thinking he's playing with her. He has no idea she weighs like 80 pounds and he's, 1,500-pound horse. So, we checked her out. There's no skin broke. She bruised up. She's very fair skinned like me. So, you bump your leg on the corner of the couch and you've got a bruise. It's like you were hit by a truck. And she goes to school and a teacher or the nurse or somebody seen the bruise and they pull her into the office and they're questioning her like crazy. And she's like, no, my horse bit me. And they're like, oh, okay, but if you're being hurt at home, you can tell us, we can help you. And she's like, my horse bit me. And so finally one of the other teachers says, wait a minute, let me see. And so she looks at it and she's like, tell me the story. So Katie tells her what happened. She's like, oh God, yeah, that's a horse bite.
That's a horse bite. Right.
We were borderline calling CPS on us for this bruise on my child's arm. And which would have been fun. I mean, bring them in. I'm not scared. But at the same time.
Right. They can get bit by the horse too, for fuck's sake. If they want to meet the horse, let's meet the horse.
Because he probably would have bit them too, because he was just ornery that way.
That's what I'm saying. I know my Gypsy sure enough would. My Gypsy is all lippy when she likes somebody. Okay. So she would, yeah.
This case here is major overstep.
Bizarre and unnecessary. Flat the fuck out. You're wasting taxpayers' money and time and everything else and stuff and torturing this family for what your own selfish benefit is what comes to mind.
With the changes in the CPS with Governor Abbott firing the director,
brings a lot of questions.
It does bring, because it's the timing of the whole situation. And let's face it, I have a love-hate relationship with Governor Abbott. There's a lot that he does I agree with, and there's a lot he does that I don't agree with.
I don't do politics, people. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't trust any of them, okay? Flat the fuck out.
Well, they're all for their pockets themselves. They're not about the people. But, this situation here, something needs to be done. They need to be looking at something because... Oh, no, wrong. Didn't want to do that.
Yeah, because right now at this point in time, there's nobody in charge to reprimand this caseworker that has gone over her boundaries, over any, law and stuff, because it's very clear she did not do proper proceedings and stuff that.
And this case started over here in Baytown, over by me. And so I'm sitting here thinking, last year we had the family in Houston that CPS failed those children and the baby was dead in the closet for a year with his two older siblings.
God. Wait a minute. How did I miss that case?
You didn't see the coverage I did on that?
I missed it, honey. I'm sorry. Was I moving during that time? Shit. I am so sorry. Well, how did I skip this one?
But over in Houston, the mother, her boyfriend killed the baby. Mm-hmm. They wrapped him in a blanket, put him in a closet. They left the other children there, and they went and got another apartment. and paid for the apartment because they were on assistance. So they paid for the apartment for a year. And they would bring food and drop it off and take off. And the oldest boy was autistic, and people would see him sleeping outside on like the playground and things. And yeah, they came and knocked on the door because they reported him absent from school, went and knocked on the door, they answered, and they left. People in the apartment complex complained about the smell. Apartment
my God.
So here you have this case.
And yet we've got the Athena little girl with the factor of all that and no CPS involved there. And that poor little girl ends up kidnapped.
Her death didn't have anything to do with CPS.
But like I still question where was CPS in that situation. I still question that. But
I don't think
that's another story.
To me, it has no bearing on her death. None.
No, it doesn't. No, you're right about that, honey. I can't argue.
Yeah, their family life has nothing to do with the fact that the child was kidnapped and murdered.
Yeah,
no. And so that's one of those where I don't even want to discuss it.
You're right about that.
Because now they've all lost their baby, Yeah.
But
here, this case here, clearly overstepping.
Yes. Now, mom has evidently turned children over. Dad and mom both spent the night in jail. They've been released and now have done a press release. And crap, I did not write down when the next court date is. Brandy, did you?
I didn't either, but let me.
Shit. Okay, well, if you want to do at least a little bit of the press release, maybe fast speed or something, I don't know.
I don't think
the press release gives the lawyer gives damn good detailed explanation and point blank period, straight to the point. I like the lawyer. I really do. He gives me good vibes. Like that press release was very good, very well handled.
Let's see if this one is good enough. Well, it helps if I click on the right thing. Just saying.
And I don't know if you want to go back to TikTok and click on one of the latest TikTok videos. I know there's like some type of update, but I did not click on it like a DD earlier. I had a phone call. Scooby-Doo was calling. But that was before that Scooby-Doo called.
Oh, well, of course, this one's going to not let me have it. Okay. We'll do it this way.
We'll do it this way. Even if it is mom and dad, that's fine. Even if I know there's a court date coming up, and I want to say that he said it was like the end of December or January, but I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I'm a horrible note taker. Ask Brandy.
So this is 26 minutes. I'm not going to play all of it. We'll play the first few minutes of it.
Okay. Or even if we can skip to that mid-end or whatever. I mean, we've already pretty much covered everything that has started the situation and brought it to our attention. And that, where we feel that, the world needs to know that, hey, us parents still need to protect our children, from even children creepers like CPS. Like, there's predators there too, clearly.
Okay.
The department were to have a staffing to discuss these services, the judge ordered. The department never contacted Jacqueline or myself to arrange those services to be completed. On November the 3rd, 2 days after that initial hearing, the department filed a baseless motion for reconsideration, alleging that they had newly discovered evidence in the form of notes of the counsellor that spoke to the children on October the 6th. That counsellor could have been called as a witness at that initial 262 hearing on November the 1st, but the department failed to call him. The department did not ask for an immediate reconsideration, but instead set it for a reconsideration 26 days later, knowing that the children would remain in the care of Jacqueline and Jamie Davidson for those 26 days. On November the 4th, the day after they filed that motion for reconciliation, The investigative caseworker, Izzy Vasquez, called for a welfare check on the children. Law enforcement came to the residence of Jacqueline and Jamie Davidson, demanding to see the children around 8 p.m. at night. The children were distraught, in fear they'd be taken from their family again, but after observing that the children were safe, law enforcement left the residence with no further action. November the 9th, 2022, Jamie Davidson left on a bus to return to West Texas to continue working to support his family, and had been there ever since until he returned on December the 3rd to turn himself in. On November the 11th, Veterans Day, a federal holiday. Most businesses are closed and the court is closed. The department, with caseworker Izzy Vasquez, turned up at the residence of Jacqueline and Jamie Davidson, demanding to see the children. Izzy had not previously called my office to inform me that she would be stopping by the residence to see the children. Jacqueline called myself, and I personally spoke to Izzy that day and advised her she could see the children at my office the following week. Izzy never made contact with me or my office to arrange to see the children, or was any attempt made by the department to begin family-based services per the court's ruling on November the 1st. I confronted Lizzie about her role in the case and that it should be a family-based worker reaching out to the children now because of the court's ruling. On November the 18th, 1 week later, the attorney for the department, Miss Angela Flores, contacted myself at 2:20 p.m. via email with all the department supervisors and the investigative caseworker who was CC'd on the email. The email asked to see the children and alleged that the family had not been cooperative. Several emails exchanged between Angela Flores and myself, and we offered the department to see the children at my office on Tuesday, November the 22nd, 2022. Email exchanges stopped at 3:35 p.m. At 4:24 p.m. that same day, November the 18th, I received an email from caseworker Izzy Vasquez stating that she was going to the residence of Jacqueline Davidson to see the children that night because she had received a new priority 1 allegation. It was later determined that the call was almost word for word of the initial allegation reported on September the 22nd, except for one thing. The new allegation states that the children had only been returned 1 week, but actually the children had been returned 3 weeks ago. Further investigation by myself found that the priority 1 call in fact came in on November the 17th, 2022 at 5:42 p.m. the day prior. There was no mention of the new priority 1 allegation to myself in any of the emails exchanged with Angela Flores at the district attorney's office earlier that day, and nor from caseworker Izzy Vasquez, who was CC'd on all the email communications that day. On November the 18th, 2022, Izzy again came to the residence of Jacqueline Davidson with law enforcement. I was also present and recorded the entire interaction between Izzy and the children. The children were extremely upset, traumatized, and refused to speak to the caseworker. On November 21, the Monday after that visit, caseworker Izzy Vasquez demanded that both parents submit to a drug and alcohol test that day. No prior drug or alcohol abuse had been alleged in the initial allegation on September the 22nd, except for a brief mention that mum drinks in the therapy notes that was e-filed with the court for their motion to reconsideration.
So he's kind of breaking all of those charges or the timeline down. Mom is so angry. I'm watching her sit there and just very angry. And I feel for them. I do. Texas needs to revamp their system. That's all there is to it. They have overstepped their bounds here. They have harassed a family. This comment right here, I was reading that while he was talking, and it says, there is so much lack of accountability and proper protocol. This is harassment of this family. Without a doubt.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Right.
So.
Extreme outcry.
if as more happens with this, I'll definitely be back with it. This isn't my usual. This isn't murder of somebody, and Lord knows I'd much rather be talking about a serial killer or something to that effect. But
listen to you.
I really would. I when it comes to this kind of stuff, it makes me sick. I can handle a murderer all day long, but I feel that this
is right. And you know, don't get me wrong. I used to enjoy some good, you know, serial killer kind of creepy stuff. But unfortunately, my mental state has definitely changed to where I can handle this kind of cases. There's not bloodshed.
For me, this is scarier. This is scarier because our government is stepping in.
Right.
Where it shouldn't be.
Right.
And if they're not protecting the ones that need to be protected, and that's what bothers me. We are losing children to very scary, dangerous people because CPS is failing and they're overworked. They have people calling for stupid shit. We see it here on YouTube all the time. And
there's YouTube creators calling CPS on other YouTube creators because they're petty.
Right. Because for whatever reason, and it's not okay.
Because somebody said somebody peed in somebody's Cheerios. Like, come on.
Well, then, and you've got cases like this where CPS is actually doing damage to children. And because somebody's on a power trip.
Yes.
It's just, it's angry. It makes me angry. And I don't know what our steps are. I don't know how to fix this, but I hope this attorney and the people that have stepped in saying they're going to help do so. And Abbott needs to pay attention. He needs to fucking pay attention and do something and fix the system.
And at the most, bringing awareness to the factor of our fellow Texans and our fellow parents, our fellow, you know, ones that are actually doing some damn good and doing perfectly fine and, you know, living their damn lives like normal and stuff like that. And need to be, you know, precautious of stupid shit like this.
Right.
You know, and it's at least bringing awareness of the factor of, you know, this could happen to any family, you know, like how the hell was I going to put it?
Life says that cases like this, it's when the child gets harmed more. So in the state's custody homes than they would ever be in their own. Exactly.
Yes.
They won't even let these children go stay with other family members while this is worked out.
No, there was plenty.
From what I understand, the home that they put them in is one of the biggest in Texas. That is not the best.
No, it is full of troubled, twice as troubled, 3 times as troubled, sadly.
You've got kids that are already dealing with some very serious allegations in their home from another child, which, let's go there for a minute. You've got another child, another minor, who has committed SA on a child. Where is this coming from? That I do think needs to be looked at. We need to figure out what is going on there. That is concerning.
Right. Very concerning. That case is pending. And what's really concerning is that case is pending and it's taken this long. It's 2 years. I'm sorry, I have a vehicle driving by my window. But it's taken 2 years to where this case is still pending, and now we have this chaos going on with that poor family. Like, what is taking so long?
Because of COVID, everything is pushed back. Everything is taken care of, and
2 years ago, that would have been in the middle of COVID.
It was in 2020. It was in 2020 when it happened. So everything is pushed back, and I mean, hell, we can't even get justice with Gannon right now because, of course, never mind, we're dealing with Crazy Woman, but.
Right.
I think that was mentioned in Sleuth Mom's live today. Somebody was like, we can't even get justice for Gannon. You know, I mean, it's just crazy.
The justice system is definitely kind of chaotic right about now in certain areas.
Right.
Clearly.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this case. And when I get more information, if they give us any details of where we can call to maybe get some help, phone calls and things like that, I'm assuming call the governor's office, but I'm going to watch their page for any helplines that they have listed for us to call, and I'll share those. And that way maybe people will reach out and maybe we can get the proper reunification of this family to happen.
Right. Other than that, there is definitely a GoFundMe. I know the GoFundMe set up, the Facebook page, the TikTok. Like you said, the other ones have probably communicated.
Let's see. I wonder if it will let me. Will it let me share it from here?
And right now, the biggest thing is if anything, they're asking for legal money factor. And I mean, if one of these other agencies step up and stuff like that, they may not even need to GoFundMe. By the graces of God's there. Other than that, they just want their kids back and home safe and sound and getting the proper medical treatment that they've been getting in the first place. They were getting it already in the first place. That's where, I even have problems with this factor of they were already getting the medical that they needed. And knowing
the Facebook page, I don't know if that even shows up properly because I did it from StreamYard and not.
Well, it shows up on my end, but like you said,
let's see if it opens it. Yep, it opens it. There is the link to the Facebook page. For the family, if anybody wants to join that and follow. I think we'll close it down next week, guys. Next Wednesday, I am going to be covering it's another cold case. I'm going to do a cold case a month, but I was behind on my last one, so it'll be 2 this month. But I'm going to do another old one for me. It's going to be the Hopper Road case. And that is going to be, it's a case actually Dawn and I, very first podcast Dawn and I ever did was the Hopper Road case.
Yes.
It has been unsolved for 16 years. And Curtis and Jenny deserve answers and justice. And so I'm going to do a recap on that case and some updates. And I think I have a professional investigator coming on to share some of his view on it, and he's where I'm at, and that it is solvable and should have been solved. But
that's amazing to
I was going to do it this week, but I need to. All of my files are on my old computer, and I don't know where the plug-in cord for that is. We've moved twice since, so I have to try to dig through email and see if it's all still in my email because I have so many files on that case. It's crazy.
That is a huge file, and this I know I came across I think a few old ones through an email the other day or last week or something like that.
The pinned thing that I have at the top, I didn't even try to explain that a while ago. I had a few friends suggest to me to set up a PayPal pool for I need a recumbent bike for physical therapy. And the one that we have found that works well, that feels decent, is like $400.
Damn.
So and we just bought this house and Christmas is here and funds are tight. And so any help towards my physical therapy equipment would be greatly appreciated. Appreciate it very much. And that's what that is about. But thank you everybody for joining us. Dawn, thank you for coming on with me for this one.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Cause I appreciate the factor of throwing out the attention that this family needs to get them justice and be brought back together. And it's been a while. I haven't joined one of these in a while, so feels good.
Yeah, I'm just now getting back on track since the move and different medical things I've had. And
well, after Big Brother was over,
fall further into this community. Yeah.
After Big Brother was over,
Dawn in this community, Dawn would have already ripped people up.
I've been really good. Like, come on now. I even tried to do Big Brother, but hell, because I was in the middle of the drama community and trying to do Big Brother, that didn't work very well.
I tried to join in over there with y'all. I was like, no, I'm good.
No, I got out.
I'm going to make my own channel. These people are nuts.
No, I got out, guys. I got out. I come back to the true crime factor and stuff like that. No, no. No.
But anyways, well, thank you, girl. And I'm going to hop off. And
Yes.
you guys have a great week. My birthday is Saturday. I turned 50 Saturday.
Woohoo!
You know what? I have hated 49. Fuck 49. This has been a horrible year.
I'm not making 42, so I
this year can kiss my ass. And I am looking forward to a better year, but I'm not really looking forward to being 50. So, I'm going to figure out something to do and get in trouble with. We'll see. But,
yeah. Well, there's a lucky vines down here, or up here, over here.
I'm not driving. I have too many animals to drive that far and turn around and come right back.
Oh, girl, I know. Having way too many of my clan too. We ain't traveling very far. 45 minutes maybe. And that's even pushing it. Yeah. So,
alrighty, guys. Well, we will chat next week.
Yes, I will at least be in Okay.